Hello, good afternoon and welcome to my vlog. This afternoon we're going to talk about pickpockets in London. It is an ever increasing problem that is not going to go away, and I know that the holiday season is almost over, but hopefully this video will help you in the future. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about pickpocketing, how they target you, and how pickpocketing will never go away. However, you can reduce the risk of being pickpocketed. There are no anti-theft bags, and if people try to sell you an anti-theft bag, they're selling you an illusion. The only way you can stop theft is to reduce the risk of it. I hope you enjoy the video I'm going to show you this afternoon. If you do, please hit the like and subscribe button. I'm going to be doing a series in relation to this, so thank you very much for watching and hope you enjoy what you see. It's a bog standard HB laptop bag, and as you can see, it's a pretty bog standard backpack that probably most travellers will use when they go on their holidays, and it's obviously got this little thing for your briefcase, your suitcase to go on. This bag is quite vulnerable, especially in the front here. So if you put your passport in here, if you're on a train or in a crowded area, a thief could probably steal this. The other area is vulnerable is the second area here. Again, it's pretty vulnerable. That thief only has to open that bag slightly and they can get their hand in, and you're probably not going to notice if they're pushing against you in a crowded area. Obviously this area is quite vulnerable too, because they have to figure out a way of opening this. And then you've got your final area in the back, which is less vulnerable because it's closer to you. And I also have a secret compartment here, which hopefully they don't see, and that may conceal your valuables. So for me, this area is too vulnerable. I need to seal this up, especially when I'm coming from the airport with all my luggage, because that's where I'm going to be more vulnerable. So I need some way to tie these together and string them up, like cable ties will do it. That'd be a really good way of sealing this up and reducing the risk. Thieves will try and get in your bag, and like I said, the time that this bag is most vulnerable is when you're travelling in crowded places, when you have more than one bit of luggage, and you might choose to keep your passport in this bag, your wallet in this bag, all of your important stuff. And if you're thinking about going on holiday and thinking about things that you can lose, the things you can lose, like clothing, put them in areas of the bag that are less secure, and the items that you can't lose, put them in areas that are more secure. This is about reducing the risk. It's never going to remove the risk entirely, and people are showing off these sling bags and going they're anti-theft because they lock, but people aren't paying attention because they're holding too much stock to the safety of the bag and becoming careless. Another way that people seek an opportunity to steal your bag is from a table rather like the one in front of me. So let me turn my bag around. Here is a table in front of me. So I'm here having my dinner, and this, imagine, is my phone. If a stranger comes along now here and covers this with a paper and I'm talking to my friend, my phone's gone within a second because I haven't paid attention to that phone. If you're going out for lunch, please don't leave your phone on a table in an area like this. This is a really nice dining area in Victoria, and as I've come so early on in the day, it's absolutely dead, as you can see. But later on in the day, this area will become more busy, so there'll be more opportunity for thieves to operate. On booth location, I've switched from Victoria to near Buckingham Palace. It's quite beautiful in the morning, and at this time of day there aren't so many visitors here, but this is an opportune place for pickpockets to work and steal your stuff, because your attention is focused on that rather wonderful building there and on the monument here, and obviously the view and the gardens over there. There are several organised crime groups that operate around here. They tend to operate in groups of 3 and 4. There is an increased police presence around, I think partly to combat that problem. It's quite prolific around here. There is an increase in pickpocketing. And as you go down the mile into Trafalgar Square, because it's a packed area, that's another hotspot. But here, as wonderful a view as this might be, and as great as Green Park is very vulnerable to pickpocketing, I'm afraid. There is a saying, of course, that the early bird catches the worm, and this part of the Mall is incredibly crowded later on in the day, but look at this now. It's incredibly quiet. Look at this. You see how people crowd around in the front? And this, of course, is the scene of the Queen's Jubilee, the Queen's funeral. When Diana passed away, all the flowers were congregated along there. But the best view of Buckingham Palace is about 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. If you can get up early on a weekend day, this is the view you'll have. Unfortunately, another vulnerable spot for pickpockets is within this park here. This park is called Green Park. A little bit later on today, this place will get really busy, and people walking along the walkway here are most vulnerable. So some of these walkways here are most vulnerable because pickpockets will gather in groups of 2 or 3, and if you've got backpacks, they'll look for the most vulnerable one and they will crowd around it, and within seconds your pockets will have been picked. So this pathway, which is just down from Pall Mall, is probably one of the most opportune spots where people come to pickpocket. But the good news for me is it's probably about 9:30 in the morning on a Sunday, so there's not too many people about, so it's a great time to come out and actually speak to you and do a video like this. I'll probably do a series on pickpocketing and how to reduce your risks of it. And I don't want you not to enjoy your holiday, but just remain vigilant to your surroundings. Think about who's behind you. Think about where your bag is, because they will prey on you if you appear to be as not vigilant as you may be when you're at home and not on holiday. Right, this bridge here, where you can see the London Eye in the distance, is probably one of the most vulnerable pickpocketing areas there is in London. People pay attention to their view, and what they forget to do is pay attention to their belongings, and there's been a whole plethora of pickpocketing that goes on here. So remember, if you're carrying valuables, carry them in a place that people can't swipe them. And if you're coming on holiday to the UK, make a copy of your passport. But it's a hassle and an aggravation for you to renew your passport or every time you go on holiday, because you're less vigilant to pickpocketing occurring. It's very real in these parks, and these places are beautiful. And it's sad in a way that I have to be making a video like this on London, but this is where it happens.